Hello crafty friends, this is the Papered Chef here. Welcome to part 2 of my 7-part series on working with card kits. In today's video, I'm going to focus on the For the Love of Felt project kit. This kit has a kit for making 12 cards full size, and it has a separate stamp set. This is different than the first kit that I showed you. So if you missed the first video in the series, I went over 30 projects you can create with the Notes of Kindness card kit. This is an all-inclusive kit for making 20 note cards. I stretched it out, added some extra materials, and made 30 projects, including 3D projects like boxes, bookmarks, tag treats, all kinds of other things. Now the kit itself, and I showed you how to make this box or similar box. The kit itself makes note cards, and we did that. So I'll be doing that again in this For the Love of Felt. I'm going to be showing you how to make the cards in the instructions, but then I'm also going to show you how to stretch it out and make other things with it. Okay, so it's not like the first kit in that in the series, some kits are going to have the stamp set, ink spot, adhesives, and all the things included. Now this is a different kind of kit. This is a project kit. So just to give you an overview of the series really quickly, I did this a little bit more detail before. There are 7 kits currently in the Stampin' Up catalogs. This is the annual catalog. This is For the Love of Felt. It has a separate stamp set and a separate project kit. We also have other kits, Notes of Kindness. I'm going to be covering all these kits. You know, lots of happy looking up. So out of all these 7 kits, this is now the Occasions catalog. We have 3 Cheers for You. And this is another project kit, and we have a project medley. So I'm going to be showing you 4 all-inclusive kits in the series. Okay, 2 project kits, meaning project kits have separate card kits and stamp sets separately, and 1 project medley. That's when you have all these different kinds of materials, including dies in the medley. Okay, so that's just to give you an overview. I'm not going to name all the videos right now, but just stay tuned. You're going to get to see 7 project kits now. So 7 kits. So now this is the kit. So you have For the Love of Felt. You would buy this separately, For the Love of Felt stamp set, if you want it. But I'm going to show you ways to create cards without having the stamp set, because you may have other stamps in your arsenal that you can use with this project kit. Now I'm going to open the box and show you everything in it. So For the Love of Felt, I'm going to open it up. And that's what I'm going to be doing in the introduction of every one of these videos. Sorry for all the noise. It's going to be showing you, boy, this is hard to get out. Showing you the actual project materials. I'm going to unbox these kits for you, and then I'm going to show you, boy, what a sturdy box that was. Then I'm going to show you things to make with it, including we'll make something according to the instructions, and then I'll be making lots of other things. So I'm thinking for this one, I'll be showing you how to do the tag treat. I like to go back to my signature crafts for every single time I work with a card kit. I like to do the same sort of 3D crafts because I know how to make them, and they work well, and I can make them with any kind of kit. Okay, so here's our little box. Boy, what a beautiful box. Okay, this is beautiful floral box. Oh wow, look at all this fun stuff. All right, so let's look at the coordinating colors first. Then that's how I know how to grab. I didn't get any card bases made ahead of time. This is going to be something I start from scratch. So the first thing I do with instructions, which are a little bent, is I look at the coordinating colors. Calypso Coral, Daffodil Delight, Pear Pizzazz, Pool Party, Sahara Sand, Shaded Spruce, and Lovely Lipstick. So I will be gathering materials in these colors to go with this kit. And then that's when I come back, I'm going to be showing you what I came up with. I'm not sure what I'm going to come up with yet. Last time I came up with 30 projects. Who knows how many I'll come up with. I pretty much work until I'm out of embellishments. All right, so this is fun. So we have lots of felt embellishments. So look at this cute little box. Beautiful little box. Okay, so it doesn't have any markings on it, so it can be a gift. All right, so let's open up the embellishments first, and then I'll turn over and see what's in the other part. Now, unlike the other kits, this is the first time I'm using this kit. This isn't something that I actually used before. For the Notes of Kindness kind kit, I was already on my 2nd kit when I started this series. For this one, I'm going to be doing it for the first time, so this is exciting for me too. I'm challenging myself to use up all the materials that I have, and I even purchased some extra kits for the series just because I love working with card kits. They're so So much of the heavy lifting is already done. Okay, so beautiful felt embellishments. Those are lovely lipstick out of the coordinating colors I read. These are Pool Party sequins. I can just tell by the colors I read what kind of embellishments they are. So you have these little ones are the Pool Party embellishments. I'm putting them on the shaded spruce box top so you can see them. Let's turn that over and see what's in there. Okay, so we have these little Pool Party embellishments. I'm going to be putting them back in the bag. These are the Calypso Coral embellishments. And it looks like we have some linen thread. So we have a roll of linen thread. I'll be tying the linen thread on a lot of things. And Calypso Coral 3D felt embellishments. All right, these projects totally lend themselves to 3D projects. Besides cards. You can make lots of cards, which we'll do, but I can make tag treats. I can already think of tag toppers. There's already lots of ideas swirling through my mind. All right, so let's open this. I'm just gonna get, just open this little part. I'm just using a pair of scissors when I open up these kits. So we're gonna see what comes in it. So you will need your own adhesives. This is a project kit. You're gonna get, in this part, you're gonna get all the things to make your 12 full-size cards, but you're going to need your own adhesives. Okay, here we have some vellum. Vellum is very in this year. This has some, let's see, it has something written on it. I'm going to put my light closer and see if I can see. Yeah, the churn of honey. Okay, the butterfly wings. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that, but that's some beautiful, beautiful garden-like spring sentiments. Boy, this card kit series couldn't have come at a better time for spring, right? With all these fun things. Not only that, people need encouragement right now. So this is the time to get kits, make lots of cards, and send people lots of cheer. Happy mail encouragement. Because, some people are out of work and they're stressed out about the being homebound for so long. So this is the time for you as a crafter that you can help out your community by sending happy mail. All right, so that's that. Those are little, I don't know what these are. Get little card fronts, I suppose. Let's see how they fit on a card. They would be like, yes, there's little fronts of cards. Here, let's look at the instructions. I never even looked at these yet. Let's see. They're going to go on one of the designs. Now, I'm not going to follow the instructions completely. We'll do a couple cards according to the instructions. But I like to do my own thing whenever I get card kits. But that's up to you, what you like to do. If you want to follow the instructions, you'll have beautiful cards, 12 beautiful cards, just as is. Because look at the gorgeous things you're starting with. You put the little flowers right on there, see? Wow, that's already nice. That's already great. We can stamp onto those. All right, so there we get those. Now let's see what these are. These are blank ones for stamping. So we have 8 that had patterns on them. And then we have these card bases. So we have these card bases. This is crumb cake, maybe Sahara sand. It's probably Sahara sand. Okay, we have some die cut leaves. Now, although you can make these with your machines, look how nice that those are. They're already cut out for us. Boy, this is going to be fun. I would use liquid glue on those. Maybe a fine tip glue pen. Tombow glue has a fine tip on it. I'll probably whip out my Tombow glue for this one. Okay, and then we have these card bases. Right on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now these are strong cardstock, and these are, when I say full size, I'm talking about A2 cards. Wow, more embellishments. Okay, let's pop one of these out. Lots of leaves. I'm going to use up all my embellishments. That's how I know when I'm done with my project kit. That's how I'm going to be stopping. When I'm out of my embellishments, I'll stop and tell you how many projects I made using these embellishments and these stamps, and I'll show you some alternate projects. Okay, these little fun flowers. Those are Daffodil Delight. This is just going to be loads of fun. Okay, that was those. Now we look at these beautiful envelopes, and I'll get back to cards. So let's look at these beautiful envelopes. And again, I never looked at this card kit very closely. I hadn't really thought about it, but now that I have a little bit extra time myself, I'm working through all the kits I have and even bought some extra. Okay, looks like all the cards are the same. All the envelopes. All the envelopes are the same. This is a shaded spruce with dotted lines. And that whole felt series has a lot of dotted lines in the theme. Okay, beautiful card envelopes, And these little dotted lines as part of this card base as well. So there's 4 of those. So as you can see, there's 3 different designs of card bases, with 4 of each design, and then we have some more embellishments. These look a little different than the ones I showed you a minute ago, because these are just a little bit smaller leaves. And then a piece of cardboard to help. I save my little cardboard things to help, protect things inside envelopes. And then you have For the Love of Felt stamp set, and I'll be using this mostly, but then I'm going to show you some alternate projects. So you make an ordinary day special. Let's celebrate. So very thankful. Flowers. Okay, so we have celebration going on, hopefully by the time I get this series done. And so that means that if you buy the kit and the stamp set, you would probably be eligible for one of our free celebration items. 20 and 30. Yes, you would spend, if you bought the stamp set and the kit, you'd have $50 and you could get one of our celebration items. I guess I'll try to show those at the end of this video, depending on what's left. Okay, so I'll come back. I'm going to keep track of how long it takes me to create the projects. I'll come back and show you what I came up with. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this introduction to the For Love of Felt project kit. Crafty friends, I'm back. It has taken me a few days and a total of 6 hours and 15 minutes to complete For the Love of Felt project kit. Altogether, after I show you how to create a couple of projects, I will be showing you 30 different projects you can create with this kit. I didn't do it all at once, the 6 hours and 15 minutes. That was broken up into 5 sessions of crafting. And again, I was watching TV, and sometimes a commercial would come on and I would pull up a website or something, so I wasn't just constantly crafting for 6 hours and 15 minutes. So it may take you longer or less, but you're probably going to just create 1 or 2 cards at a time. I wanted to complete my entire kit because this kit has been sitting with me for months and months, and I finally had the time to complete it, and I wanted to see how many projects I could create using up almost all the embellishments. Okay, the other thing I wanted to say is cardstock. I wanted to tell you about the cardstock. This will be in the description. I used 5 extra pieces of 8.5 by 11 cardstock, and I used 2 extra pieces of 12 by 12 cardstock. So that's it. 7 pieces of cardstock, plus some Whisper White for the insides of the cards, and that's it. And some extra adhesive. You need your own adhesive, extra ribbons and things, and my own ink. Okay, this doesn't come. This is a project kit that comes with enough supplies to make 12 cards, but it doesn't come with the stamp set. So I wanted to show you in this tutorial and coming up, like how to use this stamp set, which you will use for one project, and then how to just take a stamp set out of your stash and use that as well, which we'll do for the second project. Okay, so the 2 projects I have planned for this are, I'm going to take, this is my last piece of the blank. This is how they come. I didn't stamp that. This is my last little piece from the kit, and we're going to stamp this. Okay, and then we're going to adhere it to this card, and we'll have a card. Then, and I'll use a few different colors of ink I have, and then after that, I'm going to show you how to make this project, which is a little Ghirardelli or tea holder. And that's using some of the supplies from the kit and some that aren't. So let's do that, and then I'll go through all 30 of my projects, and we'll be done. We'll be done, all the projects. Counting these ones. Okay, so let's do this. I don't really follow instructions that much, but I'm going to try to follow them a little bit for this one, and just kind of show you where I'm coming with it, because I don't have every ink that it says. I do, but not in the format of a stamp pad. So for example, the first couple things you're going to do is stamp the big flowers. Okay, so I'm just going to do one, to give you an idea. So I'm going to use Daffodil Delight because I thought that looked really good. Okay, so I'm going to stamp a Daffodil Delight flower. So I'm going to open up the stamp pad and put that down, and I'm going to take this, we're going to use For the Love of Felt stamp set. I'm going to take the flower out. I'm going to mount it onto, it's very sticky, this is a cling stamp, so I'm going to mount it onto a stamping block like that, and I'm going to go to my stamp pad, make sure everything's in focus here. I'm going to tap, 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 and I'm going to stamp onto this card. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and do that twice, although you would do, this is showing you Calypso Coral, to do it in Calypso Coral as well. Okay, I'm just doing it twice with this same color so I don't have to clean my stamps and try to do a lot more than I'm already planning for this session. So next it says to use, this is telling you to use Pear Pizzazz. Well, I have Pear Pizzazz and I tried to use it, I only have a marker. I don't have the stamp pad, which, note to self, I'm going to try to complete my collection. during celebration while I can get things, you know, free. This is before March 31st. Or at the end of March 31st is the end of celebration. So anyway, I'm just going to use shaded spruce, and I'm going to stamp it off. And I will show you that I did use my stamp. I'm going to open up the shaded spruce. I did use my stamp pad, my marker for some of the leaves and some of the things. I just didn't use it for very well. Like, I don't think the marker works as well as a stamp pad. You need a stamp pad when you're trying to do leaves like this one. Okay, so just little tips. So this is my leaf, little set of leaves, and I really do like this set. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna stamp off onto my mat. Okay, and then I'm gonna stamp off to the edge of the page. Okay, I liked it a little bit lighter when I did it a little bit lighter. Okay, so I'm stamping on. It's called stamping off. So I stamp onto my mat to get a little bit of ink off, like that, and then I stamp onto my card. Okay, so these two sides won't have as much ink as the other corners. I'm stamping off and stamping onto my card. Okay, so that's how you do that one. And of course, they're recommending pear pizzazz. So get whichever colors, use whatever colors you have, but try to use coordinating colors. So I'm using, at least shaded spruce was a coordinating color. All right, next it's telling you to put, let's see, it would be Calypso Coral for this one, but I didn't use that. So next it's talking about like putting on these leaves, okay? So these leaves. So here's what I did for all the leaves. I like to just use a sticker machine. So I have a Xeron, I'm not even sure how to say this, sticker machine. So I put all the sheets of stickers that came in the kit through the machine, a couple overlapped, and then they came out as stickers. I peeled off the top and I had a bunch of stickers. So that's what I was doing, and it made it easy for me to just do this kit. So then I went around and I just sort of made a little wreath around the sides. Something like that. Okay, and then let's take some of these. Okay. Again, as you can see, I never really follow directions, but that's kind of the concept. So you're going around, putting some stickers on there. Then I'm going to put some pear pizzazz. Well, I don't have, see, it's showing you pear pizzazz in the very background. There's that one little sticker. Well, that's all I have left. I saved you one. So there's the one little sticker. We're going to put that on somewhere. It kind of put it behind this group there. And I could have got that sticker off a little better. Okay, so then, let's see. It also uses, I didn't use the string on mine, the twine on that outside. It also uses a bunch of the little yellow flowers. So I put them in my stickers as well. I made little stickers out of the yellow flowers. Okay, and then it uses, of course, the felt. So this is my last felt. This is my last felt flower I have left. Well, except for this little one. We'll put one of these. This is the other one I have, this one. Okay, those are the other two I have left. So for those, you can use glue dots or dimensionals. I'm just using some dimensionals. I just stuck them on there. It's going to get kind of high with dimensionals. With foam, it's going to be extra high, but that's how I stick them on there. And I'm just going to show you what that looks like. So some I already had them attached to. Okay, so like just take your little foam dimensionals, and it will make your card. These cards are going to be a little bit 3D in the mail, so they're going to pop up a little bit, and sort of put those on there. So then what I did as well on a lot of my cards is I also used a lot of butterflies. Okay, and then I have a couple ways of stamping the sentiment. First, I should have stamped it before I put this little flowers down. I used a lot of extra little butterflies like that. But what I did is, if I stamped onto this card, but if I got it a little bit crooked, then I would take a different shape. Like for example, so first I would try to stamp it just right onto this card, like they show in the instructions. So Very Thankful. So we'll do So Very Thankful. We'll go ahead and I'm going to open up my shaded spruce again. And if that didn't work, I would just put another shape over the top of it. Sorry, my microphone got caught inside my stamp case. Put that back on. Okay, I'm going to try to stamp it and you'll see what I mean. So Very Thankful. Tap, tap, tap. Stamping. All right, so it came out fine. But if it didn't, I would take another shape that I would punch out, and I would just put it over the top of that. I would put the sentiment on it and put it over the top. So that's how I made, you'll see how a lot of my cards have extra shapes over the top, and that's why. All right, so let's add this butterfly with a dimensional. Couple little, for that one I use a couple little mini dimensionals. These are the mini dimensionals. Okay, so, and it's just fun to make each card different. Like no two projects of mine are like at all. Like not even the sentiment or the colors or anything. So that's that. And so you could do other things, like I did use Calypso Coral sometimes there, and you can add extra little embellishments, but I'm just completely out. Like that's it. That's all the felt I have. That was it. I was saving those for my crafty friends. So I would usually take 3 of every kind of embellishment. So we can add these other butterflies in a minute. I would try to take 3 of every embellishment, and I would add 3 embellishments and 3 little sequins and things like that to my card. So let's see. I kind of mounted them upside down a couple times, so we'll make sure that's right side up. And of course I could have mounted this onto the card before I put the felt on it. That would have been easier. So let's get what's called my tear and tape. This is just this is something we have at Stampin' Up. It's really cool. And it's just a nice rolling adhesive for when I'm sitting out there watching TV. I could put all these cards together. It's a good take it to go. Not that we can go anywhere, but like in the future, we're going to be able to go places. And this is great little tear and tape. You take it on the road, do your crafting. Okay, so that's that. So I'm just putting that on my card, and I don't have my pokey tool handy because I did mount all my cards at once. So that's pull that off. Pull that off. I'm just using my hands. All right, so 4 little pieces, and you can see it shining. So it's double-sided. You can use rolling adhesive like the snail or the ATG tool, whatever you have. Just use whatever you have for rolling adhesive, because that doesn't come. This is not an all-inclusive kit, so it doesn't come with that stuff. Now I'm going to take my extra little butterflies and put them out there because they contrast. Let's see. We'll put that one down there. And since the felt is already 3-dimensional, may as well make the butterfly 3-dimensional as well. All right, so right now we have celebration going on, and one of the free things you can get is this punch. So I'll just show you how to punch out a butterfly here. You missed that. Or you didn't miss it, but I put a butterfly on there. I'm putting my ink up to the edge so we don't get all messy here. All right, so I'm going to take a piece of Pool Party cardstock. This is Pool Party. Or no, this is Pool Party. Sorry, you didn't say it. This is Pool Party cardstock, and I'm going to just punch. This is the Butterfly Duet Punch. Right now, this is free with a $100 order, and it only goes on until March 31st, our special. This wasn't always free. This punch is something that you can still purchase this, but they just added it to the freebie list as a way of going out of celebration with a bang. So that special ends March 31st. So I like to use coordinating colors, and Pool Party's a coordinating color. Let's see. I might put it over there. I think I'm going to put it up there, because just to balance out that little bit of a Pool Party down there in that one. And again, I just like to use dimensionals. And that is how you put together a card that is from the kit. Like that, like so. We have matching envelopes, and I'll be showing you all that. All right, so that's as easy as it gets. I just want to show you this little swirl as well. So this little swirl is really nice. And I put that, just so you know, when you see all these little lines with the dashes, I put that on a lot of the cards, and I used soft suede most of the time for that little swirl. All right, so when you see this script, this is from the kit. All right, so the next project I'd like to show you, because in every part of this series, there are 7 parts of the series, I will be showing you at least how to create something with, something that either Stampin' Up! Recommends, or something similar to the instructions, or something using only the kit itself, which I just did, like this card. And I'm also going to be showing you one of my, what I call my signature crafts, my crafts my go-to crafts. I do these for every single Like if I'm ever doing a project series or craft fair series, I'm always making these kinds of things. I've been making these for so many years, and that's why I like to show you, like again and again. I've shown it on my channel, but then I keep getting asked how I make them. And so I just like to show you. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna explain, I'm gonna write this down, and let me just explain. I'm using from the paper pumpkin kit. I'm just showing you that you can use the punches that I have from Stampin' Up, some embellishments from this kit, and just any stamp set you have. Let Love Grow. So that's what we're using, Let Love Grow. This came from the paper pumpkin kit, No Matter the Weather. No Matter the Weather was the March paper pumpkin kit. These little holders hold a Ghirardelli chocolate or a tea bag, which I'll show you. They are so easy to make, and I'm gonna write down the dimensions right now. And it'll also be in the description of the video. But I need to leave that there for some color, so you have something to look at. All right, so let me get my marker and show you. So first of all, you need a piece of cardstock, and I've already cut that because I use my scan and cut for cutting my cardstock. 7.25, that's your length, times 2.2, or 2.75, sorry, is your width. Okay, again, it'll be in the description. 2.75. Okay, so 7.25 by 2.75. Now you're going to take I'm going to use my Simply Scored, or use whatever scoring tool you have, and I'm going to score it. I'm going to score both. Well, no, I'm going to score one at a time. The reason I have the extra one is just in case I make a mistake. So I want to score, let's move, this is a Simply Scored tool. I want to score at 0.75, okay, 0.75, like that, 4 1/8, and 4 3/8. Okay, let me just, I did that correctly, so I'll show you the score lines, and now I'm going to show you closer up for reinforcement. Okay, so here's my score, here's my Simply Scored. Ooh, look at that glare. Okay, here we go, 0.75. So we have a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 0.75. 0.75 inches, that's how you make this holder. You need to go 4 1/8. Each little notch is an eighth, 4 1/8. 4 and that's 2/8 or 1/4, and 3/8. So 4 1/8 and 4 3/8. In fact, use the smaller side of it's a lot easier to use the smaller side of your scoring tool because there's a small side and a long side. So 4 1/8, 4 3/8. All right, good. Now we have both done. Let me focus that back. So I'm getting rid of that Simply Scored tool only because my table's pretty full. But this is what I was trying to show you. On this scoring tool that came with the Simply Scored, you have a big ball and a small ball. So I would use the smaller end. Okay, so you have 7.25. Let me write that down again. Times 2.75, just so you can see that. With score 0.75, 4 1/8, right? Inch, and 4 3/8 inch. Okay, so that's how you're scoring. Now, we're not going to staple yet because we want to do our stamping. Very important. Let Love Grow is going to be, this part's going to be folded over. So you see those score lines? We're putting the, if you're going to stamp right onto it, that is, we're stamping onto this side, not the side with the 0.75, down here, the side with the, because we're folding this over. See? We're going to be stamping like that. We need Let Love Grow to be stamped on this side. So Let Love Grow is just like I said, it's from my paper pumpkin kit, and those are photopolymer stamps, unlike the rubber stamps or cling stamps, and they do stain, especially when you use a color like Lovely Lipstick. You can't really get the stain off. You can avoid them staining as much by using Versamark first, but you can't really get the stain off of this. But really, do we have bigger problems? Yes. Don't sweat the small stuff. So your stamp stain, who cares? All right, so Let Love Grow. Let Love Grow. I'm tapping into the ink. And I'm just going to put it right there in the middle of this treat. Hold it for a few seconds because it's hard. It's not as absorptive. It's not the cardstock. This is Pool Party cardstock. It's just not as absorptive as it doesn't have as good of absorption, I should say. I don't know if absorptive is a word, but as Whisper White. So you have to hold it for a few seconds when you're using thick cardstock like this. So I'm holding it there for a few seconds to let that lovely lipstick ink set in. So all I did, I mounted this stamp onto a stamping pad. I tap, and I stamped. Okay, that's all I did. Oh, can't see that. That's all I did. I tap. So that's the actual color. I'm just showing you the actual color. See how it looks a lot different when you put it on the pool party, it comes out darker. All right, so that's how you do that. Now we need a little stapler. It's good to have mini stapler with all these different colors of staples and things like that. But, you know, I don't have all that right now. I have a mini stapler, but I don't remember what happened to my different color staples. All right, so let's fold it. So you're going to fold this. You're going to fold this. You're going to fold this. And you're going to fold it like that. And again, we're going to do this one. So all we're doing is making this little treat. We're folding it. Folding. Folding along the score lines, and we're folding along the bottom. You'll probably see me make this in like the whole 7-part series. Like I'll probably make these for all the card kits. Now I'm stapling along the bottom once, twice, and then I can, of course, these butterflies. Let me make sure I'm in focus here. I'm in focus. Okay, so I'm stapling right here. Don't staple. Make sure you don't staple the flap. Right. Make sure you're not. This isn't tucked in when you're stapling. Leave it tucked out so you're not accidentally staple the flap. Okay, so that's all that is. Now you staple. Now you're going to then add your Ghirardelli chocolate like this and a little dimensional behind it. So you're either going to put a Ghirardelli chocolate in there, right? A little piece of dimensional, a little Stampin' dimensional. Peel the back off. Put that in. Just tuck it in. That's it. Just tuck it in. Put that down. And then you have a Ghirardelli chocolate holder. Or you're going to use a tea bag. Okay, put a dimensional down and peel the dimensional off. Put a tea bag in there. Shove the tea bag down really low because that one will stick out if you don't. In other words, you don't want it to be too high up there. You still got your crease. Okay, so that's how you do that. Now you're gonna take your little butterflies, and I like to hide these staples with the butterflies. Sorry, I'm shaking the whole camera. So I'm just putting, like I said, I put them on dimensionals. I'm just making sure you can still see my measurements. Okay, so I just put a little dimensional there and then a butterfly. Okay, let's get another butterfly in. So I was using just butterflies that are coordinating colors. This is lovely lipstick. If you just want small butterflies, don't waste the big, just punch the bottom part. Right, you don't have to push your punch all the way in. This butterfly punch went with this project so well. I couldn't believe it, like for the love of felt. I was like, why haven't I completed this kit? I've been waiting so long to complete this kit. All right, so then of course you'd tie some twine around the top. I used twine from the kit, and you put some cute little embellishments on there. So like where's our stickers? I think they fell off the other end of the table, but I have one here that it doesn't. We'll put this on there. So we're putting this little lily or little flower on here. Let love grow. And of course I don't have any more felt left because I'm out of felt because I just made the entire kit. But that's how you do it. And then you take your piece of twine and you just make yourself a big piece of twine. Cut that off. Tie a little piece of twine around the top of your little gift. And is that like much better, giving somebody this nice chocolate? You know, send out care packages now. Now's the time to spread love. Of course, some people are afraid of getting mail, but from where I'm at, it takes a week to get mail, so I'm not worried about it. But I'm still sending mail. And then, you know, some people are taking precautions and not opening their mail right away when they get it. So that depends on your preference. But I think it's still a good time to be sending mail, happy mail, packages, things like that. And of course you could put it bigger. Okay, then you tuck that under. Cute. And that's how you make that holder. Okay, so I have all these projects to show you. And here's just kind of a couple finishing touches. I use glue dots to add these little sequins that came in the kit. I added an extra butterfly to the inside flap. Okay, and that's just some extra touches you can do with this project. All right, so let's get into this start to finish. All right, so you've seen this card, we just made that together. I'm gonna just keep showing you different variations of cards and kind of explain what I did. So I used that Let Love Grow stamp again from the Paper Pumpkin kit. This is Calypso Coral, Daffodil Delight. And all these other things are stickers, and that shaded spruce in the corners. You know how I got the butterfly punch effect? Now what I did here is I took the card. Now this is one of the cards from the kit, but they're not as thick. The cards in the kit are not as thick as Stampin' Up's cardstock. Stampin' Up, we make very, very heavy duty cardstock. So what I did is sometimes, and you're going to see me do this a lot in these projects, is I use my own cardstock. This is Daffodil Delight cardstock. And I lined every one of them with a Whisper Bright liner. So this feels a lot heavier than this one because I'm using all those extra layers. Okay, so you know the colors in there, and we've already talked about the colors of the kit. Here's when I told you about when I mess up. This is now going back to just, I'm using a card base from the kit. When I mess up in my stamp and it comes out a little crooked in the little panel behind it, I just used a punch and I just punched out a new sentiment and I popped it up with dimensionals and added it to it. So for this one, and for many of the projects, I used this punch called the Timeless Label Punch. I didn't cut out any of my shapes with the scan and cut this time except for the actual card layers. I mean, the only thing I cut out with the scan and cut are these things like the card bases and mats and layers, and that's it. I didn't actually cut out the actual little shapes. I just used punches for all my shapes. So put that over there, Timeless Label. All right, so that's how I made that card. That was a Daffodil Delight. And as you notice, I used the butterfly punch again and some sequins. Notice I do things in threes. 1, 2, 3 butterflies, 1, 2, 3 sequins. Okay, moving along. Here's another one of that. Here's what I was telling you about. When I tried to use this marker to draw onto this stamp here, when I tried to draw onto it with the marker as opposed to having a stamp pad, which now I know I need, especially if I'm going to get myself a refill kit or another kit, it doesn't come out as dark as or as even as when you use a stamp pad. So I prefer not to use Pear Pizzazz. That's Pear Pizzazz. I prefer to use Shaded Spruce in this case. But use whatever stamps and materials you have. Again, 1, 2, 3 butterflies, 1, 2, 3 sequins. I just tried to balance out the card using all kinds of extra things. This little piece is vellum, as you can see, and it has little sayings on it, like it has cherry blossoms, and it's just a really nice spring piece of vellum behind it. So you put the vellum behind, and it comes in the kit, and there's a piece of vellum behind this one as well. It just adds that extra little layer and makes it pop. But sometimes I didn't want to hide the vellum. So let me get onto these cards here and show you when I was like, wait a minute, I don't want to hide that vellum. It's too pretty. So here's a couple variations of it. So I took the same kind of concept. I took the vellum, but instead of hiding it with one of the panels that came in the kit, I decided to just let the vellum show through. I should have used my vellum adhesive because this does show a little bit through. But here's what I did with these kinds of cards. So Very Thankful is stamped in Shaded Spruce, and for So Very Thankful, I used the Timeless Label Punch. You Make an Ordinary Day Special is also part of For the Love of Felt project kit, and for that sentiment, I punched it out using the Pretty Label Punch. Both of these card bases came in the kit, and they're called Sahara Sand. They're made of Sahara sand. Lovely lipstick for the cardstock, for the butterflies, Pool Party, and Daffodil Delight. All these felt embellishments and stickers all came in the kit, as did the sequins. Let me show you the matching envelopes while we're here. These just go so well with these cards. I want to get into how I cut up some of these, and I will do that later, how I cut up some. But I want to show you a few 3D projects now, just to break up my card show. I have a lot of cards to show you, but I also have a lot of 3D projects. So sometimes I like to make what's called tag treats. And I like to take, and you know what punch I used, right? Or what stamp I used. I used that paper pumpkin set, Let Love Grow. And sometimes I like to cut apart the cards, and I just like to make tag treats. And this is what I did for all these little treats here. And I even made one that I'm in the middle of making, but I ran out of felt, like this one with the lovely lipstick. So to make a tag treat, I just started out with a piece of cardstock 2 inches wide by 6.75 inches wide. And I'll be showing this in this series. And then I used this punch here. It is called the Delightful Tag Topper Punch. And what is inside of these? So the reason I have this little strip for this one, and the reason I have 2, is because in one card base, I was able to make 2 tag treats out of one card base and still have enough left over for a cute little tag treat, for a narrow tag treat. So let me show you what's in them. There's just different things in them, starting with this one here. So For this one here, I used the card base from Sahara Sand, and I wrapped the envelopes. I cut apart the envelopes, and I used the flaps of the envelopes to wrap Hershey nuggets in, so that the nuggets are in shaded spruce and they match the tag treat. I also used a coordinating color of cardstock, Lovely Lipstick, to wrap around the band, around the side of the tag treat. These are super simple to make, and I put a butterfly on the other side. This is Daffodil Delight ribbon that's in our Occasions catalog, or it's not called Occasions catalog, it's called the Spring 2020 mini catalog that goes on till June 2nd. So if you'd like one of those catalogs, although Celebration does end March 31st, that's the freebie stuff, you can still order from our catalog until June 2nd. Okay, another Hershey nugget. And what's in here? This one has Tic Tacs. Okay, mini Tic Tacs in there. Okay, so there's lots of fun stuff when you make 3D projects. All right, now I'm going to get back into the cards, and I'll get back to some more 3D projects later. So I told you about the envelopes. I said sometimes I like to stamp the envelopes themselves. So what I did is here, I made some things. I stamped the outside of the envelope, and I stamped the inside. I cut apart the envelope. This is the envelope, and I would make a card out of it. I have a couple sympathy cards, unfortunately, and the situation's even sadder because one of my friends who lost her father can't even go to the funeral because of the travel restrictions. So that's even really, funeral's already sad enough, but I thought, let me keep it simple. You know, she's a crafter as well, but I kept that one simple. I might use this one, I'm not sure. This one's a little bit more elaborate for the sympathy card, but it's just, I love this stamp. Now, don't ask me where I got it. It's just an old paper pumpkin. I save all my old paper pumpkin kits. It's one of the stamps from one of my old paper pumpkin sets. I don't keep it with the set because I use it so often. Unfortunately, I have to make a lot of these cards, and so I just keep it in a bag. It's been well used, well stained, and I don't remember what kit it came out of because I just keep it in this little cellophane bag and use it probably at least once a week, which is sad. Okay, so with much sympathy, this one has the little felt on it. Both have butterflies on it. Both are made from the envelopes, but this one has extra stamping around the outsides, extra little embellishments. Lots and lots of extra things going on. It just depends on who I'm giving it to and how simple I want to make it, or how elaborate I want to make it. Like, depending on if the person I'm sending it to will appreciate like the craftiness of it, or if it's like, this would be like if I'm just sending it to one of my elderly relatives who lost somebody, I would probably send them more like this one if they're not a crafter, because they would just be so already like so overwhelmed, not only with sadness, but they'd be overwhelmed with the thought of making something. But if they're a crafter, maybe it's just more fun to send them something with like extra things done on it, just to when they want to get crafting again, they have some inspiration. All right, so anyway, that's sympathy cards I'm making, and I'm using one of them right now, unfortunately. Okay, now I showed you how I do the envelope, and again, here's another way. Now let's get on to a cheerful topic. Cheerful, not sympathy cards, but I'm just saying I used my kit. Why not use what you're working on to make some things you actually need? So I took the envelope again, see, here's the envelope, and you could mail it like that. It's really cute. You can put your label right here, address it right there. But I took that and I just made that into a card. And this is I used the Pear Pizzazz cardstock, and I used Pear Pizzazz leaves that came in here, and I made them into stickers and put them on there. Some felt embellishments, just Whisper White plain on the inside. And So Very Thankful is stamped in shaded spruce. So I wish I had done this earlier, because I would have made a lot more cards with those envelopes. You know what? But then I ran out of, like I said, I ran out of felt. Okay, so let's get into a couple more cards. Then we'll get back to that. So I'll do my bouquet cards later. I have what's called like a bouquet card. So here is the card. There's this one type of card, and all that came on it was just like a little. They just give you a plain little shape there with curved corners. That's all they give you. So I stamped on here with Calypso Coral, and this one is Let's Celebrate is in shaded spruce. And I put some twine behind the card, like behind this layer. And sometimes I put 2 layers of twine, like wrapped it around twice, and sometimes I wrapped it around 3 times. Look at the difference when you just use your own cardstock with this kit. Let me stand up this card. So this card here is made from Daffodil Delight cardstock, and this is part of the kit. So I just think when you use your own cardstock, when I took that same piece they gave me and put it on Daffodil Delight, it just was so much more cheerful. This is like good for a birthday or something. Let's celebrate, right? It's just more cheerful than the shaded, or not shaded spruce, than the Sahara Sand. Okay, so that's one is in Sahara Sand, the one that came with the kit. But I do like how my little twirls that I stamped on there match and how everything's coordinated. And at first when I saw this, these samples from the cards that they showed us in this kit, I was like, these are pretty busy, right? But as I got working on them, I wanted to keep embellishing even more. I was having so much fun. So if you need an escape from reality right now, this is the kit for you, because this kit will keep you busy for many, many hours. Here's what I was trying to go for, something like this. This is the sample, and there's the piece they gave me, and it tells you to wrap some twine around it. And this is pretty much like the close one, I guess one of the closest I came to. These two are the closest I came to a sample. Okay, and then this is, if I messed up, so very thankful, by stamping it straight onto the card. I then punched out a piece with the Timeless label punch and put it over the top of it so you can't see that I messed it up. All right, so another card that's that same sort of style. You Make an Ordinary Day Special. That same style, meaning I wrap twine around it as well. That's it for this card. And this one I stamped in Lovely Lipstick. Sahara Sand, I love that little swirl. Wrap some twine around it for dimension, some felt, and this is Pear Pizzazz card base. Yep, you can see why it took me 6 hours and 15 minutes now. And I have all these little cute, I still have this really cute box. Even after I give out all these cards, I have this cute little box, and I was putting ribbons in there that match my projects. And so I wanted to show you the ribbons, and I wanted to show you what I did with those. Okay, so I pulled out. So what I do at the beginning, whenever I have a project like this, project kit, I take out all my coordinating products, and I took out all those inks you saw, and then I took out all my markers, and I didn't use them all, but I just took out everything that could possibly coordinate. Then I have so much to work with, and in this case I had this Pool Party shimmer ribbon, Pear Pizzazz shimmer ribbon, and you already saw me use Daffodil Delight. Daffodil Delight has another, it's like ruffled ribbon, ruched ribbon. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. All right, so I came up with these bookmarks or tags using those ribbons. Okay, so I wanted to just show you 4 tags and how you can make them different depending on your stamps. All right, so these, let me just do this. Let me move this over so you can see sort of a plain area of my mat so it's not as busy. Okay, so these are, I know they're very busy, but I was having so much fun stamping. In fact, this is the kit you get if you really like to stamp. You get the kit and the stamp set. And by doing so, if you get the project kit and the stamp set, you qualify for a free celebration item. As of the other day, there were like 16 items you could get for free when you spend $50 or more at my store by March 31st. I think they're down to just, probably 15 or 14 things you can get for free, but there's still a great selection. So if you like to stamp, this is the kit for you, because I had so much fun stamping these bookmarks. I stamped in Lovely Lipstick, Calypso Coral, Daffodil Delight is the really light, faint color in the back. I used Shaded Spruce, stamped off onto my mat and stamped onto the tags. And I just had so much fun. I put extra butterflies on them, extra felt pieces, punched out dimension, and then I punched out for dimension and added those shimmer ribbons in Pool Party. Okay, so those two you can do with the kit. In other words, with the things that came in the kit, the project kit. You can make these tags. And then what I did is I took my paper pumpkin kit, let me move those over, and I used stamps from my paper pumpkin kit and played around with that. And so the stamps I took out, the Let Love Grow from the No Matter the Weather paper pumpkin kit this month, and I took out You Are Capable of Amazing Things. And I stamped those two in Lovely Lipstick. And I added the different ribbons, and then I get a whole different look than this scripty font that came with the stamp set. So what I'm saying to you is, if you just want to get the project kit, use all your own colors, use all your coordinating colors of cardstock and the colors you like with the ribbon you like, then you can use things that are in your stash to make these really cool projects. Okay, so I know I have a lot going on in these bookmarks, and I normally wouldn't stamp so much on one project, but I'm telling you, it is like so therapeutic. what I would do is I would take all the pieces that I cut out, these cardstock pieces in Daffodil Delight, and I would stamp all the shaded spruce parts first. And then I would stamp all the flowers in the one color. Then all the little stems I used, all these little sprigs. And so I was just able to just it was just like I had to stand up. I couldn't sit down and do it. I needed to be standing over it for good leverage. Okay, so speaking of stamping, I was having so much fun stamping. I'm going to show you another 3D project before I get back to my cards. And here's a 3D project. So normally you've seen me make pizza boxes, mini pizza boxes in the past. You've seen how I cut up designer series paper if you watch my channel. And you know that I usually cover all the sides of these mini pizza boxes with designer series paper. But this time I was having so much fun stamping that I said, let me just stamp right onto the pizza box. Okay, and this is that Daffodil Delight Reshade ribbon again. I used for the love of felt and some butterfly, the butterfly punch for the top of this. And I put a butterfly in the inside, so I didn't need any designer series paper. It was actually easier to decorate than normal. There's the Happy Hippo, little piece of heaven. Got these from Europe. I have the case to show you, the Happy Hippo case, because this is it, folks. I have been talking about Happy Hippos for a while. I got a case sent to me from Europe, and now that's it. I'm not getting mail from there anymore. But this is it. I used a whole case. I gave a lot of these out to crafty friends, new team members and things. So this is what they look like. They're called Kinder Happy Hippo. So maybe when we start traveling again and I can get my connection to send me some of these. These are just, they're hazelnut goodness from Germany. Anyway, that's what the Happy Hippo is. I've eaten enough in my day. Mini Tic Tacs, Ghirardelli chocolate, caramel chocolate egg, mini little mints. Okay, mini Mentos mints. So just lots of fun stuff you can put in the pizza boxes. All right, so I have two little boxes to show you last, and they're similar to what I made in the last video. But I want to show you a few more cards, and then we'll open up those boxes at the end. So there was this set here in this project kit, and it looked like a bouquet, and I thought, oh my goodness, this is a lot of work. It's like you make a bouquet. All they give you is this little piece of paper with the little green part on it, and I'm like, that's gonna be a lot of work. Well, it really wasn't that bad. So I started out with, I didn't put these on the first card. I just tried to sort of decorate in the bouquet, and this is what I came up with. I used a piece of Calypso Coral cardstock, and I used Calypso Coral for that flower, and I just simply, because Calypso Coral is the color of this felt piece, I used a few little sequins that they gave me in the kit. They're very easy to put on with glue dots. And I used Calypso Coral for You Make an Ordinary Day Special. And that's it, just white inside. I did a vertical fold card. That's it, vertical fold card, very simple. So that's kind of how I was working with that bouquet. And it wasn't very hard to decorate. I was kind of intimidated by it at first. So then I tried it with the way that the kit came, and I tried making a bouquet. And this time I used shaded spruce, and I stamped onto the mat, got some ink off the stamp, stamped onto the card, used lovely lipstick, 3 little butterflies just to balance out, 3 little sequins up there, lots of flowers, lots of layers. And this little leaf is already part of this bouquet. And this one is just one of the stickers, but I used glue to put that on. Okay, here's another one where I used extra felt. And I did the tying up I tied the little knot like in the picture. And that was kind of hard to get on there. I was trying to use a glue dot and the knot wouldn't stay on the card, so I used a big blob of glue. And it dried clear, so I'm okay with that. And I tried stamping straight onto this paper. I messed up a little, so I put this label punch. It's called the Pretty Label Punch. And I stamped an extra sentiment on that one. And lastly, again, using my own cardstock and my own bouquet, I used lovely lipstick for the flower, and those felt pieces, and Daffodil Delight for the card background. And I added an extra little layer with the lovely label punch, putting that extra little label behind the pool party. So that's Daffodil Delight behind there. Daffodil Delight for the card, pool party for that embellishment. I will have pictures of all of these on my blog so that you can copy any cards that you want. You can, case them, we call it, copy and share everything. Case the cards. If you want to make cards with this kit, use any of these ideas. This is an extra long video because there's so many ideas. I hope you get this kit and that you can implement these ideas. And then here's my last card before I show you my boxes. This card, I use lovely lipstick as the background, And here's again, just if you don't have the stamp set, if you don't have the For the Love of Felt stamp set, that's okay. You can still get the project kit and use, if you don't have this stamp set, and use your own stamps. So this just uses that stamp from the Paper Pumpkin kit, Let Love Grow. And Lovely Lipstick is in this flower, it's in the sentiment, it's in the card background, it's in the butterfly, and the Lovely Lipstick just helps that whole thing sort of pop. And I think we need to spread a lot of love right now in this world. So this is the time to get kits, make kits as a family, make kits with your friends. Well, not friends, friends that live at home. Not with your friends, because you can't go see friends, except your virtual friends, like you guys are my friends. You cannot go out to be safe, but you can make and send cards, because Mr. Postman is still picking up. You can put cards in your mailbox, lift up the little handle, and they will pick them up for you. All right, my final 2 projects. Whew, I'm trying to keep this video under an hour, and I think I'm going to do it. All right, here you go. These are what's called a card, let's see, a box made out of a card. Okay, that's what this project is. It's a box made out of a card. So you take your card, like one of these cards, okay, with the one that has the stripe on it, and the front and the back was decorated, and I was able to take that and half a piece of Calypso Coral cardstock, and I was able to make 2 boxes. So this is one card. This is one card. I was able to make both box lids and a half a piece of cardstock. I can't open that one because I tied an extra knot on there, but the same thing is in both of them. And I just did little different, I scored a little bit different on the edges. Like one of them I scored maybe a ½ inch, and one of them 5/8 or 7/8, I forget. I have to look at the actual scoring. But that's how I made the boxes out of a card. Let's see, we can look right here, because that's an inch. So half, 4/8, 5, 6, 7/8. This one's 7/8 of an inch. That's this box here, 7/8 of an inch. And then I put my little Happy Hippo in there, some Tootsie Rolls, Tic Tacs, little treats. And I think I put his butterfly. Let's see. Yep. And there's a butterfly at the bottom of the box. So of course that was my favorite project, and it didn't even need to say anything. I might put Let Love Grow on the inside of the box, but I really didn't even know where to put a sentiment, and I don't think it needed one. It's just a pretty box with treats for someone. And I used the twine that came in the kit. The only thing I ran out of was the twine, and I had to open up a twine from another project kit, from a different type of project kit. That was it. Like this twine. I still have stickers left over. I still have sequins left over, and I did run out of the felt itself. You saw me run out, but I ran out of that with you. You saw me run out of the felt, and that's when I decided to stop. So you can make 30 projects as well from one kit, as long as you use some of your own cardstock and ink and some of your own supplies. Well, I hope you enjoyed this part 2 of my 7-part series on working with card kits. Stay tuned, because we're going to be working with more kits and product medleys throughout the series. And I hope you get inspired by what you can do with some of our Stampin' Up! Products. That's all for now. This is the Papered Chef.